thin mandates produce unstable results, but there is so much of value that can be accomplished with the kind of democratic mandate that I think will come from being more responsive to the voices of your citizens. If you're going to enjoy competitive economies, if you're going to enjoy affordable energy and secure supply chains, then you need mandates to govern, because you have to make difficult choices to enjoy all of these things. And of course, we know that very well in America. You cannot win a democratic mandate by censoring your opponents or putting them in jail, whether that's the leader of the opposition, a humble Christian praying in her own home, or a journalist trying to report the news. Nor can you win one by disregarding your basic electorate on questions like who gets to be a part of our shared society. And of all the pressing challenges that the nations represented here face, I believe there is nothing more urgent than mass migration. Today, almost 1 in 5 people living in this country moved here from abroad. That is, of course, an all-time high. It's a similar number, by the way, in the United States, also an all-time high. The number of immigrants who entered the EU from non-EU countries doubled between 2021 and 2022 alone, and of course it's gotten much higher since. And we know the situation, it didn't materialize in a vacuum. It's the result of a series of conscious decisions made by politicians all over the continent and others across the world over the span of a decade. We saw the horrors wrought by these decisions yesterday in this very city. And of course, I can't bring it up again without thinking about the terrible victims who had a beautiful winter day in Munich ruined. Our thoughts and prayers are with them and will remain with them. But why did this happen in the first place? It's a terrible story, but it's one we've heard way too many times in Europe and unfortunately too many times in the United States as well. An asylum seeker, often a young man in his mid-20s, already known to police, rams a car into a crowd and shatters a community. How many times must we suffer these appalling setbacks before we change course and take our shared civilization in a new direction? No voter on this continent went to the ballot box to open the floodgates to millions of unvetted immigrants. But you know what they did vote for? In England, they voted for Brexit, and agree or disagree, they voted for it. And more all over Europe, they're voting for political leaders who promise to put an end to out-of-control migration. Now, I happen to agree with a lot of these concerns, but you don't have to agree with me. I just think that people care about their homes, they care about their dreams, they care about their safety and their capacity to provide for themselves and their children. And they're smart. I think this is one of the most important things I've learned in my brief time in politics. Contrary to what you might hear a couple mountains over in Davos, the citizens of all of our nations don't generally think of themselves as educated animals or as interchangeable cogs of a global economy. And it's hardly surprising that they don't want to be shuffled about or relentlessly ignored by their leaders. And it is the business of democracy to adjudicate these big questions at the ballot box. I believe that dismissing people, dismissing their concerns, or worse yet, shutting down media, shutting down elections, or shutting people out of the political process protects nothing. In fact, it is the most surefire way to destroy democracy. And speaking up and expressing opinions isn't election interference. Even when people express views outside your own country, and even when those people are very influential. And trust me, I say this with all humor, if American democracy can survive 10 years of Greta Thunberg's scolding, you guys can survive a few months of Elon Musk. But what no democracy, American, German, or European, will survive is telling millions of voters that their thoughts and concerns, their aspirations, their pleas for relief are invalid or unworthy of even being considered. Democracy rests on the sacred principle that the voice of the people matters. There's no room for firewalls. You either uphold the principle or you don't. Europeans The people have a voice. European leaders have a choice. And my strong belief is that we do not need to be afraid of the future. You can embrace what your people tell you, even when it's surprising, even when you don't agree. And if you do so, you can face the future with certainty and with confidence, knowing that the nation stands behind each of you. And that, to me, is the great magic of democracy. It's not in these stone buildings or beautiful hotels. It's not even in the great institutions that we have built together as a shared society. To believe in democracy is to understand that each of our citizens has wisdom and has a voice. And if we refuse to listen to that voice, even our most successful fights will secure very little. As Pope John Paul II, in my view, one of the most extraordinary champions of democracy on this continent or any other, once said, "Do not be afraid." We shouldn't be afraid of our people, even when they express views that disagree with their leadership. Thank you all. Good luck to all of you. God bless you.
It is now my great pleasure and honor to welcome His Excellency Director Wang Yi. Director Wang Yi is the head of the Communist Party Central Committee's Foreign Affairs Commission and Minister of Foreign Affairs of China. Mr. Wang Yi has been a long-time guest of the Munich Security Conference. We are very happy that you are representing China's view on this conference every year, again this year, and we are also very happy that you are ready after your introduction to enter into a discussion which I'm looking forward to hold. Director Wang Yi, you have the floor. Again, thank you very much for coming.
尊敬的霍伊斯根主席，各位朋友、各位同事，我们所处的是一个更加变乱交织的世界。大家都关心这个世界今后向何处去。借用今年慕安会报告的主题来回答的话，那就是走向多极化。80年前联合国成立时，只有51个会员国，到今天是193个国家共乘一艘大船。多极化的世界既是历史的必然，也正在成为现实。多极化是否会带来动荡失序、冲突对抗？是否意味着大国主导、弱肉强食？中国给出的答案是：我们应当推动平等有序的世界多极化。这是习近平主席提出的又一个重大主张，也是我们对多极世界真诚的期许。中国必将是多极体系中的确定性因素，将坚定做变革世界中的建设性力量。在此，我表达4点看法：一是应当倡导平等相待。列强争霸曾给人类带来灾难，2次世界大战因见不远，殖民体系也罢，中心外围体系也罢，不平等的秩序注定土崩瓦解。世界各国独立自主、风起云涌，国际关系民主化不可阻挡。坚持权利平等、机会平等、规则平等，应当成为建设多极世界的基本原则。正是秉持这样的原则，中国主张大小国家一律平等，呼吁提升发展中国家在国际体系中的代表性和发言权。这不会导致西方的缺失，而将促进世界的正和。慕安会近年来邀请更多全球南方国家出席会议，这是明智之举。每一个国家的声音都应该得到倾听，每一个国家都可以在多极格局中找到自身的位置，发挥自己的作用。二是应当尊重国际法治。中国有句古话：没有规矩不成方圆。联合国宪章宗旨和原则是处理国际关系的根本遵循，也是建设多极世界的重要基石。当今世界乱象频出，一个重要原因就是有些国家迷信实力至上，打开了丛林法则的潘多拉盒子。实际上，国家不论大小强弱，都是国际法治的利益攸关方。多极格局不能是无序的状态。如果没有了规矩，昨天在餐桌上，明天就可能在菜单里。大国要带头讲诚信、讲法治，坚决避弃言行不一、零和博弈。正是基于这样的观点，中国坚定维护国际法治权威，积极履行国际责任和义务。我们加入了几乎所有普遍性的政府间国际组织 和600多项国际公约。我们从不搞例外主义，更不搞合则用，不合则弃。我们为当今不确定的世界提供了最大的确定性。我要强调的是，在遵守国际法上不能搞双重标准，要尊重各国的主权和领土完整，就应该支持中国实现完全统一。30应践行多边主义。面对层出不穷的全球性挑战，没有哪一个国家能够独善其身，搞本国优先只会造成各方的多输。联合国是践行多边主义、推进全球治理的核心平台，已经为各国遮风挡雨80年。未来的多极世界更加需要联合国。对于这座大厦，我们应该固本强基，而不是拆梁毁柱。对于治理全球难题，应当共担责任，而不是唯利是图。对于共同挑战，应该团结应对，而不是阵营对抗。正是本着这样的理念，中国坚持真正的多边主义，倡导共商、共建、共享的全球治理观。我们坚定维护联合国的权威和地位，承担着超过20%的联合国的会费。我们切实履行巴黎协定，建成了世界上最大的清洁发电体系。我们还提出并落实全球发展倡议、全球安全倡议、全球文明倡议，为完善全球治理提供公共产品。40应坚持开放共赢。发展是破解各种难题的钥匙。多极世界应该是各国共同发展的世界。保护主义不是出路，滥加关税没有赢家，脱钩断链断的是机遇，小院高墙封的是自己。应当坚持开放合作，以普惠包容的经济全球化来支撑平等有序的世界多极化。正是朝着这样的目标，中国坚定同各国共享发展机遇。有位澳大利亚的学者把中国称为赋能型大国，我认为很形象。去年中国 GDP 增长5%，对世界经济增长的贡献率接近30%。我们担当起全球经济增长的重要引擎。我们向世界释放超大规模的市场红利。中国愿推动高质量共建“一带一路”，而且同欧盟的门户、全球门户的战略相互对接，赋能彼此，也赋能世界。各位朋友，中方始终认为欧洲是多极世界的重要一极，中欧双方是伙伴而不是对手。今年是中欧建交50周年，中方愿意同欧方用好这一契机，深化战略沟通和互利合作，推动世界走向和平、安全、繁荣、进步的光明前景。谢谢各位。
Thank you very much, Director Wang Yi, for your speech, and also thanking for clinging to the 10 minutes. We appreciate that. You mentioned the international order, and this is something that also in my introductory remarks I highlighted the need to respect the UN Charter. And we see now a lot of questioning of this. We see Russia invading Ukraine. We have seen from the American president these last weeks where he threatened to use force invading Greenland and Panama, and also the displacement of Palestinians. Your country has been also accused of violating the law of the sea, also the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now you are traveling from here to New York to the Security Council. Do you continue to believe in the United Nations? Do you believe in the Charter of the UN? Will you work also for a reform of the UN Charter? How high is that on your priority?
我不愿意回答主席先生的提问。你的提问当中大概涉及到2个关键词，一个是秩序，一个是规则。那么说到秩序，这几年总有人说中国要改变秩序，中国要另起炉灶。但是我想现在再说这种话的人可能不会太多了，因为真正要挑战秩序，在毁约退群的国家出现了。尤其欧洲的朋友们，您可能每天都在感受到阵阵袭来的寒意。而中国，我们是在现行国际秩序中发展起来的，我们是这个秩序的受益者。我们要做的就是按照大多数国家的愿望，推动这个秩序朝着更加公正合理的方向去发展。谈到规则，大家可能对规则有不同的理解，但是我认为我们起码应该有一个共同的认知，那就是我们需要共同来维护以联合国为核心的国际体系，共同遵守以联合国宪章宗旨和原则为基础的国际关系的基本准则。我想这应该是我们的最大的公约数。只要我们大家都认同这一点，有些人所说的双重标准就不会出现了，没有它存在的空间。很多重大的地区热点问题，就像刚才主席先生所谈到的，我们都有了判断的同样的标准。中国意识到我们承担的国际责任和义务，我们愿意向世界提供更多的公共产品。习近平主席提出了一系列重大的倡议和主张，包括我刚才提到的全球发展倡议、全球安全倡议、全球文明倡议。我们是希望国际社会能够携起手来，共同来解决好当今日益严重的发展赤字、安全赤字，还有治理赤字。习主席还提出了一个重大的理念，那就是我们各国一起共同构建人类命运共同体，这是一个宏伟的目标。那么我们希望各国都能够超越历史文化、社会制度、意识形态的这种不同，我们以同舟共济的精神，共同来呵护好我们这个唯一人类可以居住的星球，我们共同来建设好命运与共的地球村。这既是我们中国、我们共产党的国际主义的一种情怀，也是体现了天下为公这一中华民族的优秀的文化的传统，已经得到了越来越多国家的理解、认同和支持。而中国，我们将会继续为践行好这些重要的理念来做出我们的努力和贡献。谢谢。
Thank you. One of the topics here since 22 has been Russia's invasion of Ukraine. At the MSC, just a few days before Russia's invasion, you stated, and I quote, "The sovereignty, independence and territorial integrity of any country should be respected and safeguarded because it is a basic norm of international relations. Ukraine is no exception." So you confirmed the Charter of the United Nations. Now, today, Russia has become what John McCain once said here at the Munich Security Conference, China's gas station. I would add it's a gas station with an army. This means you have a lot of influence on Ukraine. Do you see a possibility now that there is more pressure and finally more pressure to finish this war, that from your end you could maybe do something on your side of the gas station and maybe cut the possibility of Russia to supply gas to your country, or lower the price, or stop some of the dual-use goods that are coming there, so that there is more pressure on Russia to finally finish this war?
中国和俄罗斯，我们是两大邻国，有着漫长的边界。两国关系过去经历过一番曲折的经历，之后我们双方吸取教训，我们建立了不结盟、不对抗、不针对第三方的那么睦邻友好关系。进而我们增进了我们的战略互信，建立了全面战略伙伴关系。中国同俄罗斯之间的交往是正常的国与国之间的交往。刚才提到，中国可不可以不从俄罗斯买油气了？我想问一句：如果中国不从俄罗斯买，哪个国家能够提供如此巨量的油气来满足中国民众的需求呢？那是不可能的，也是不保险的，因为常常有的国家把经贸问题政治化，当作打压中国的工具。我们不会允许出现这样的情况，我们要为我们的人民负责任。但是，中国在对待地区热点问题上是有我们的立场的。我们历来主张，一切争端和冲突都应该通过对话寻求政治解决，因为武力和制裁不可能真正和彻底的解决问题。乌克兰问题上同样如此。从这场危机爆发的第2天开始，就是2022年2月25号，中方就提出了对话协商解决。习近平主席提出的4点主张是中国立场的最权威的阐释，那就是各国的主权、领土完整应该得到尊重，联合国的宪章应该得到遵守，各国的合理安全关切应该得到重视，一切致力于和平的努力都应该得到支持。我们就是以此为遵循，在不断地推进我们的劝和促谈，哪怕哪有一点希望，我们就要做出我们的100倍的努力。我们派出的特使去各国斡旋，我们同巴西等南方国家发起了和平之友。那么中国的这些立场，现在看，随着时间的推移，应该说是公正的、客观的，也是理性的、务实的，体现了国际社会的最大的共识。任何冲突的终点都是谈判桌，历史最终一定是公正的。中方乐见一切致力于和平的努力，包括这2天美国同俄罗斯达成的共识。同时，我们认为所有当事方，包括利益攸关方，都应该适时地参与到这个和谈的进程当中。这场战事 发生在欧洲大地上，欧洲更有必要为此发挥重要的作用，共同来解决好危机的根源性的因素，共同来探讨欧洲的长治久安，找到大家都能够接受的均衡有效、可持续的欧洲的安全的框架。谢谢。
Okay, thank you. We have run out of time, but I would at least very briefly ask you to give us a sneak preview of how you think the relationship between US and China will develop.
这是一个大家都关心的问题。我要在这里首先告诉大家的是，中国的对美政策保持着连续性和稳定性，我们不会轻易的翻烙饼。这体现了作为大国的战略定力和国际信誉。我们的对美政策就是习近平主席提出的3原则：相互尊重、和平共处、合作共赢。中国和美国，我们制度确实不一样，这是我们各自人民做出的选择。如果想改造或者颠覆对方的话，那是不切实际的。正确的态度就是相互尊重，这是中美交往的一个前提。和平共处更是理所当然。中美2个大国总不能冲突起来吧？因为那将殃及整个世界。所以还是要开展对话，加强交往，增进了解，建立信任。合作共赢，这是因为国际社会期待中美开展合作。全球性的挑战也需要中美携手来应对。当然，这也是中美2个大国应当承担的国际责任。中方已经准备好了，我们愿意按照3原则，同美方构建稳定、健康、可持续的双边关系，找到2个大国在这个星球上的正确相处之道。我们当然希望美方能够相向而行，但是如果美方不愿意，如果美方仍然还要对中国打压和遏制，那我们也别无选择，我们必将奉陪到底，我们必将坚定地维护中国的主权、中国的国家的尊严和我们的正当发展权利，必将坚决地回击美方的单极和霸凌的这种行径。中国这样做啊，也是为了维护国际的公平正义，为了维护国际关系的基本准则。中国人从来不信邪，不怕鬼。新中国就是在战胜各种艰难险阻中发展壮大起来的。中国有句古话，叫做“天行健，君子自强不息”。中国还有一句话说得很形象，那就是“他强任他强，清风拂山岗；他横任他横，明月照大江。任尔东西南北风，我自泰然处之，岿然不动。”这几句话可能翻译起来不容易，可能又会出来很多翻译的版本，大家可以相互切磋，也可以找 DeepSeek 来帮一帮忙。总之，我们对这个世界的前途是充满信心的。同样，我们对中美关系的未来也是充满信心的。 中美两国只有一个我们共同努力方向，那就是刚才我反复谈到的相互尊重、和平共处、合作共赢，这也是国际社会最大的期待。谢谢。
Well, thank you very much also for this proverb. We see if we have ChatGPT or so translating it, but I thought the English translation we got was pretty good. Thank you for being here. I sincerely hope also you can use the possibility of Munich to meet with representatives of the new US administration. It would be very good that what you are also proposing, more talks and discussion on these issues, would materialize here in Munich. I wish you again good luck on your trip to New York, and thank you for being such a good guest here to the Munich Security Conference. Thank you for this. All the best.
This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters